54 years old. I'm 6'1" when I'm fully assembled, and I weigh about 235 pounds. Now in this configuration I weigh about 220 pounds. This is essentially a part 2, another video I made about how to waterproof my stump in the shower. Now initially when I came out of the hospital after I had this amputation done, of course my leg was really sore and I had a raw wound down here, and I was instructed not to get in the bathtub because there was no way to guarantee that I could keep this open wound dry. Of course I was encouraged to take a shower, and I understand that. So I had to figure out a good way to keep the stump dry while I was in the shower. Now there are some commercial things that you can buy, and I've never used any of them. My understanding is that some of them work, some of them don't. But this is what I came up with, and it worked well for me, and I never had a problem with my stump getting wet. So you can go ahead and come around now. What I did was I got one of these 13-gallon kitchen trash bags. It's a drawstring bag, and what I did when I was doing this, I figured you know, that it would be a lot easier for me to pull this thing tight and then put it over my leg and tighten it up, as opposed to pulling it over my leg and then tightening it up from here, because they're already a pain in the neck. So to tighten this bag up, you know, I started to get my you know, little fingers up under here in the drawstring, and you'd think that you could just pull this and it would all pull tight real easy, but it really doesn't. I discovered the easiest way to get this thing to draw tight is to grab it at the corners. I got my fingers still in the loops here, and I draw it at the corners and kind of work it down. It works real easy. And then I'll go to the other corner and draw it down. So it's now just a really tight little, it's just a little itty bitty hole now. So what I do is just go ahead and stretch it out enough to put it over my stump. Now of course when right after I came out of the hospital, my stump was still really fresh. It was all poked out and it was kind of flared out, and so it looked different than this, and it would actually stay on better then than it does now. But I take this plastic bag that I'd drawn up and then just stretch it out far enough to come over my stump, and then I'd try to tighten this thing up basically as tight as I could get it back around my leg. And then I would take this and essentially I would make a cup like this. Tighten these strings back up so it's tight all the way around, and then just do like you do when you normally take the trash out. You tie these loops together. I would do this one tie, and then I'd really crank down on that thing real tight, and almost like cutting off your circulation tight, but that's the way the waterproofing part works. And then go ahead and knot it up, and if you could see that this is the plastic, the tie is here and the plastic comes beyond the tie because I turned it back over on itself to kind of make a cup. And I could take a shower and this stayed put really, really well. Now when it was time to get done with it, I discovered that this was kind of a booger to take off. Especially, like I said, my stump was a lot bigger and it was flared out, and at that time it was still pretty doggone sore. So what I did is actually next to my shower there's a window, and there's a window ledge right there. It was real easy, so I kept a pair of scissors on the window ledge. I could reach over, grab the scissors, and I would use that to get this thing off. Now I don't want to be poking my leg with the scissors, of course, so I would just reach the drawstring deal, and I try to stretch that dude out until it's stretched out away from my leg. See, my leg's down here now, and this is stretched up here, and I just cut that thing off, and it was really easy to take off when it was time to take off. Of course, before I took it off, I tried to dry myself off as well as I could, but it came off real easy, and it didn't hurt my stump, even though it was really sore, and that's the way I waterproof my stump.